Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Pran Govind Das Prabhuji to enlightening us on the topic Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Anta Lila 13.128 onwards. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. All goes to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning, Prabhuji. I would like to hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to this beautiful Chaitanya Charitamrita discourse. We'll begin with the song that Srila Prabhupada asked us to always repeat those 3 times. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are serving Chaitanya Charitamrita, Untitled Lila, chapter 13. And text we are beginning. Let me look. Is it 28, 120?
128 onwards, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, 128. Let me go to that page. $65. Sorry, my computer is like a little slow. Okay. 128. This chapter titled by Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, as Pastimes with Jagadananda Pandit and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So we are beginning from text 128. That means you all are familiar with before. This is a continuous discussion about Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So text 28, 128. Pikasara Kantha Tate Ragera Vibhaga Eko Sloka Parite Firaya Tina Chari Raga. His voice was as sweet as a cuckoo's, and he would recite each verse of Srimad Bhagavatam in 3 or 4 tunes. Thus his recitation very, very sweet to hear. 29. Krishnera Saundarja Madhurja Jabe Pare Sune Premete Bibala Tabe Kichui Na Jane. When he recited or heard about the beauty and the sweetness of Krishna, he would be overwhelmed with ecstatic love and become oblivious to everything. So this discussion is about Raghunath Das Goswami, his personal experience while serving Bhakti Seva. Here in this case is recitation of Bhagavatam. This is something we are looking in our future, under their guidance, we should be able to serve in that way in some life, hopefully soon. Text 130. Govinda charane kaila atma samarpana, Govinda charna ravinda jaro pranadhana. As Raghunath Bhatta surrendered fully at the lotus feet of Lord Govinda, and those lotus feet became his life and soul. 131. Nija sisya kahi Govinder mandira karaila, Bangshi makara kundala di pushana kari dila. Subsequently, Raghunath Bhatta ordered his disciples to construct a temple for Govinda. He prepared various ornaments for Govinda, including a flute, earrings shaped like sharks. Gramma Vartana Sune Na Kahiya Jibbai Krishna Katha Puja Dite Asta Prahar Jai. Raghunath Bhatta would neither hear nor speak about anything of the material world. He would simply discuss Krishna and worship the Lord day and night. 133. Vaishnavera ninda karma nahi pare kane sabe Krishna bhajan kare ei matra jane. He would not listen to blasphemy of a Vaishnava, nor would he listen to talk of a Vaishnava's misbehavior. He knew only that everyone was engaged in Krishna's service. He did not understand anything else. Now, my request to all of the Prabhus and mothers, that if you notice Prabhupada's translation, it says that he would not, means it is a intentional. This pure bhakti, it's intentional, it's not automatic. Will not come to a stage where things become like automatic. There is always intention involved in pure bhakti. He knew only that everyone was engaged in Krishna's service. He did not understand anything else. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Raghunath Bhatta never did anything harmful to a Vaishnava. In other words, he was never inattentive in the service of the Lord, nor did he ever violate the rules and regulation of a pure Vaishnava. It is the duty of a Vaishnava Acharya to prevent his disciples and followers from violating the principles of Vaishnava behavior. He would always advise them to strictly follow the regulative principles, which will protect them from falling down. Although a Vaishnava preacher may sometimes criticize others, Raghunath Bhatta avoided this. Even if another Vaishnava was actually at fault, Raghunath Bhatta would not criticize him. He saw only that everyone was engaged in Krishna's service. That is the position of Mahabhagavat. Actually, even if one is serving Maya, in a higher sense, is also a servant of Krishna. Interesting purport, Prabhupada here. Because Maya is the servant of Krishna. Anyone serving Maya serves Krishna indirectly. Therefore, it is said, Keho mane, keho na mane, sab tar das, jena mane tar hai sei papenas. Some accept him, whereas others don't. Yet everyone is his servant. One who does not accept him however, will be ruined by his sinful activity. I notice there's only few verses left. Maybe we'll just finish it. Just 4 verses more. 134. Mahaprabhu Dattamala Mana Nera Kale Prasada Karar Saho Bandi Leho Gale. When Raghunath Bhatta was absorbed in remembrance of Lord Krishna, he would take the Tulasi garland and the prasad of Lord Jagannath given to him by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, bind them together, wear them on his neck. That's nice. 35. Mahaprabhur Kripay Krishna Prema Anargala Eito Kahilu Tate Chaitanya Kripa Phala. Thus I have described the powerful mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by which Raghunath Bhatta Goswami remained constantly overwhelmed with ecstatic love. 136-37. Jagadanandera Kahila Vrindavana Gaman Taramadde Deva Dasi Gana Sravana Mahaprabhu Raghunathe Kripa Prema Phala Eka Paricheda Tina Katha Kahila Sakala. In this chapter, I have spoken about 3 topics. Jagadananda Pandit's visit to Vrindavan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's listening to the song of the Devadasi at the temple of Jagannath, and how Raghunath Bhatta achieved the ecstatic love of Krishna by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 138. Je sakala katha sune shraddha kari tare Krishna prema dhana deha gaura hari. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gaur Hari bestows ecstatic love for Krishna upon anyone who hears all these topics with faith and love. 139, I think that's the last verse. Yes. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jarayas Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus the end, the Bhaktivedanta purport of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Anta Lila, 13th chapter, describing Jagadananda Pandit's visit to Vrindavan. The Lord's hearing the song of Devdasi, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is achieving love. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Gyenanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Sri Vishaka. Those who are listening in the audience, you can close your eye and offer some flower to our Guru Varga. Your all the bad karmas will disappear. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Veda Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Trivarshavanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namo Madhurja Ujjala Premadda Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Srimurtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Siddhanta Dantaharine Nama Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagamurtaye Vipralambar Sambudhe Padambujayate Namo Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nidesta Sajjana Priyo Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannathayate Namo Panchakalpataru Kripa Sindhu Bhaye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, dear devotees. So this is a beautiful chapter, chapter 13, that we just finished today. Here Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada bringing Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary that three main subject matter about three personalities are spoken in this chapter. One was Jagadananda Pandit's visit to Vrindavan. One was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's listening to the song of Devdasi at the temple of Jagannath. And third one is how Raghunath Bhatta Goswami achieved ecstatic love of Krishna by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's beautiful. Just to refresh our mind, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after meeting the devotees in Jagannath Puri, he engaged everybody in congregational chanting and began to dance in ecstasy. And Kirtan went for a long time, seeing everyone gradually become fatigued. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eventually stopped. Then he took prasadam and he lay down to rest in doorway of the Gambhira. While we are listening these pastimes, even for a moment you have a glimpse of Mahaprabhu in your mental body. It burns our all inauspicious anarthas, especially sinful inclination, literally disappear. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established there that we should, through Rupa Goswami Pad at that time in Jagannath Puri, where Rupa Goswami Pad composed a beautiful verse, how we should live in this world. Today we are going to discuss Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. But we have to live in this world in the form of Yukta Vairagya, that we should accept the things for the Lord's service only, not for our personal sense gratification. I have probably repeated this many times. I will still repeat, and I would love to repeat million times more, that we should identify ourselves as a servant of our Guru. Srila Prabhupada is eternally our Shiksha Guru. Whether somebody has an initiating Diksha Guru or not, or whether you have or you don't have, doesn't matter. Both of you or us have to take Srila Prabhupada as our permanent Shiksha Guru. And you can chant his name. That's how Prabhupada put it in his paper. So we should always identify that I belong to Prabhupada. For his service, I need to take care of my body. I need to take care of his family. I need to take care of this devotee family I live with. This way, there is no personal sense gratification. If we accept something without attachment and accept it because it is related to Krishna, one's renunciation is called Yukta Vairagya. I hope everybody remembers this. If we accept something, whether you have a job, you have some particular duty, whatever it is, accept them without attachment, but accept that with the feeling it is for the service of the Lord or his devotee, in related to Krishna, then that detachment is called Yukta Vairagya. Why? Because Krishna is the absolute truth. Whatever we accept for his service is also absolute truth. The word Markat Vairagya, or I'm sure you are familiar with this, monkey renunciation, is used by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this chapter, next to chapter also, to indicate so-called Vaishnavas who dress themselves in loincloth, trying to imitate Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada asked that question to his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that Ramananda Rai, he was an enjoyer. In a sense, he had a servant, nice comfortable house, he had a pension from King Prataprudra, he was having a luxury life. Rupa Goswami Pad had the luxury before, and he gave up everything with loincloth under a tree, gave up palace. So see, a lot of devotee, or you can say neophyte devotee, imitate Rupa Goswami Pad. Till today in Vrindavan, you'll see they have like a dress like they are beggar. They gave up everything. But what is the intention? What is the purpose of giving up or accepting? This is the principle. In this chapter also demonstrated. In Govinda's case, in Raghunath Bhatta's case, and in Jagadananda Prabhu's case. Why we are against this Markat Vairagya? Because such people carry a bead bag and chant, but at heart, they are always thinking about getting woman or sex and money. Unknown to others, this monkey type of renunciation maintain a private life, but externally present themselves as renunciate. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very much opposed to this Markat Vairagya or Sudu Vaishnava. Every day after Sri Chaitanya had finished honoring Prasadam, his servant Govinda would come to massage his legs and thereafter accept the Lord's remnant as his meal. On one such occasion, Prabhupada writes, He could not get into the room because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was blocking the entrance. He repeatedly requested the Lord to move to one side, but Sri Chaitanya flatly refused. Govinda then reluctantly he stepped over Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. I remember in our village culture, we never step over our parents' body at any cost. So that culture is still there, I'm sure, in some part of village in India. So Govinda then reluctantly stepped over Mahaprabhu's body. Why? An act which is generally considered a serious breach of etiquette. He proceeded to massage Lord's legs, patiently waited till the Lord awoke. Govinda asked Lord to move his body. Mahaprabhu said, I can't. I'm completely exhausted, tired. So Govinda went to give him massage so that Lord can relax more. Of course, he's Sachidananda, but he doesn't need any of this. But to perform the Lila, Mahaprabhu exhibit this mood. And Jogomaya facilitate. But then what happened? After finishing the massage, patiently waited till Lord wake up. When Lord awoke, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu questioned, why you are waiting there? Govinda replied that I was blocking, well, you were blocking the door and I could not pass through to reach my prasadam plate. So then Mahaprabhu says, how did you come inside? He said, I stepped over your body. Then you could have just gone back that way. Govinda refused to step over back Lord's body. Why? For his own ends. And that's the glory of Govinda's service attitude. And Lord Chaitanya highly appreciated. Govinda continued to oversee the arrangement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's daily meals whilst Lord resided in Puri. One such occasion, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
somebody's talking. One such occasion, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was attracted by Gita Govinda and he was running towards that voice. When he began running in the direction of the singer, Govinda quickly intercepted and grabbed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, explaining that it was a lady who was singing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deeply grateful for Govinda's ever alert service attitude. And Mahaprabhu says, you have to protect me. What would happen today if you did not protect me? So he requested his god brother, even though Govinda is a servant, but Govinda and Kasishwar both are a servant of Ishwar Puri, their god brother, and to always remain at his side, Mahaprabhu appointed both of them to take care. This way we see that beautiful pastime took place. And then the second chapter also explain about Jagadananda Pandits, how it is a spontaneous love. Sometimes we may not understand because in the material world, when this kind of similar activities are reflected, we see that people suffer. Their relationship, their loving exchange, you can say in the family relation or spouse relation. But in Mahaprabhu's case, it was a spontaneous love. How to understand? This is very important. That we need to understand that it was a spontaneous love. That when Jagadananda Pandit inappropriately instructed Sanatana Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry and sent him away from Puri. And Jagadananda returned the following year with a gift of scented oil, but as a strict sannyasi, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused to personally use it. Instead, instructing Govinda to utilize it in the worship of Lord Jagannath. When Govinda again offered the oil Jagadananda play, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very disturbed, insisting that sannyasi should not use luxury oil, luxury food. Out of transcendental anger, we know that Jagadananda he came before the Lord and smashed the pot of the oil, then angrily locked himself in his room. Because of their intense affection, love for the Lord, they can't tolerate, because of their eternal mood, a particular mood with the attachment, seeing the Lord is severely performing austerities. So as a result, they cannot tolerate neither Lord is adapting, but from Lord's side, to teach the world, he has to demonstrate what is the duty of sannyasi. And apparently there is a conflict. But conflict is not in the principle, but in the individual loving sentiment. So that's why it end up of more relishment. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu released the variety of preparation, service ingredients that Jagadananda Pandit brought him. Of course, later on, out of unsuccessful service to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagadananda locked himself up for 3 days. Then Mahaprabhu knocked the door and says, if you don't cook, how am I going to honor prasadam? And then, of course, he came out, took shower and cooked for Mahaprabhu. And then Mahaprabhu made sure through Govinda that he is also honoring prasadam. This loving exchange is very sweet. Today's discussion is Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. It's wonderful. Raghunath Bhatta, his father met Mahaprabhu in Sylhet, and Mahaprabhu instructed him and Chandrasekhar to come to Benares. You all know that pastime, I'm sure, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not reveal why they need to go there. But in due course of time, it revealed that when Mahaprabhu, on the way to Vrindavan, he also took a kind of a route of visiting in Benares to them, where very interestingly, he heard about Prakashananda Saraswati, but did not deliver him. Of course, one Acharya says that Jagai Madai got delivered in 1 day. After confrontation with Nityananda Prabhu, next day Mahaprabhu delivered them actually. Through Nityananda Prabhu, he delivered Madai. Even though he was there, he personally did not deliver Madai or Jagai, either case. It is the Nityananda Prabhu, through Nityananda Prabhu, because I don't know how to word it in English. We say the justice concept of God is all over the world. Beside the Vaishnava, everybody thinks God is a judge. At the moment of death, you will come to a judgment and the God will be the justice. You will be sitting there, and how much you obeyed, this much you will progress towards the heaven. How much you disobey, you will go to hell. But our Acharya giving the explanation that mercy is above the justice. That's true. But Nityananda Prabhu has established something more than mercy. And we don't know the exact word can be applied. You can say grace. Because when Mahaprabhu could not find any cause for Madai to survive, he should be killed because he did a severe offense to Nityananda Prabhu. Then Nityananda Prabhu appealed to Mahaprabhu in a way he says, if I have done any pious activities, of course, he's a Supreme Lord himself, Nityananda Prabhu. But still, the way he said it, he said that if there is any pious activities I have done, then please bestow my credit as his credit. So he can become a recipient of your mercy. This is more than mercy. Mahaprabhu would give mercy only those who are qualified. But if somebody is offender, last night we were discussing 6 types of people are not eligible to become Krishna conscious or get Krishna consciousness. And even though Mahaprabhu is trying to chase them and get them, but they are also expert to stay away from Krishna consciousness. Was interestingly, Nityananda Prabhu says, whatever credit he has since so many lifetime that he built up the piety, he want to give it to Madai because Madai not only has nothing credit, he has a minus. Minus means he will go to hell forever. By causing Nityananda Prabhu's bleeding, this kind of grievous offense, there is no way. But this is the exalted position of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, that he gave his own credit to deliver Madhai. So it's more than mercy. And this is what we actually, I should say, I can be qualified for, because on my own I have no pious credit. And only by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who also exclaimed to Tamal Krishna Maharaj for different reasons that there is no end of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, and he cannot also withdraw mercy from anyone forever. Not that I'm taking advantage. In one sense, I am taking advantage, because on my own capacity in this Kali Yuga, I cannot become eligible to get Krishna consciousness or get love of God. So I'm taking advantage of that. So in this, back to Raghunath Das Goswami's, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his relationship with Raghunath Bhatta Goswami at Tapal Mishra's house in Benares, many things happened. Few things happened that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered the young boy series of instruction. First instruction he gave him, take care of your elderly parents. Why? Because they are devotee. But then Mahaprabhu says, remain unmarried. Then he told him, study Srimad Bhagavatam from pure Vaishnava. Then after fulfilling all family duties, return to Jagannath Puri and become a fully dedicated renunciate. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami unflinchingly followed this order. His parents eventually left this world, and Raghunath immediately returned to Jagannath Puri. Pleased to see him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent another 8 months with him, then instructed further, go to Vrindavan and assist Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, and continuously chant Hare Krishna and recite Bhagavatam. And today we just read that he used to recite 3 or 4 tunes. It is not the tune of a mundane melody that we are thinking. It is the feeling that Raghunath Bhatta has expressed by verbalizing through the Bhagavatam. So Raghunath immediately After getting the instruction in Jagannath Puri, immediately departed for Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, he became renowned for his devotional recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, during which he would experience spiritual ecstasy. Due to his deep love and devotion, this was all possible because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this chapter we see. And it reveals the power of following the instruction of our spiritual authority. When we follow Srila Prabhupada or our gurus, they are built in with empowerment. In most endeavors, we have a goal, process, and culture. This is very important. They make strict lifestyle choice in as far Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, we can see that they have a diligently engage in spiritual practice every day without strict adherence to such culture. One's spiritual growth is surely stunted. This is the proof. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's interaction in Jagannath Puri remind us that the Vaishnava is not simply characterized by what he does, but also who he is. By nurturing proper character qualities and saintly disposition, the heart becomes a fertile place for the Bhakti Lata Kripa to grow. Vaishnava qualities are not simply a byproduct of pure devotion, but must be consciously developed. Means we have to endeavor by the practitioner devotee every day. And eventually, no quality just appear without endeavoring for it. In text 133, today we just read, Vaishnavera ninda karma nahi pare kane, sabo Krishna bhajan kare ei matra jane. He would not listen to blasphemy of Vaishnava, nor would he listen to talk of a Vaishnava misbehavior. He knew only that everyone was engaged in Krishna's service. He did not understand anything else. This is such an exalted position. This is wonderful position. Now in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 8 to 12 explains where we are, each of us. When you read this 4th sloka, you can actually check where you are. So today's this sloka of Raghunath Das Goswami, we see that Lord Krishna, what he explained about text 8, that what is that? Mayi eva mana adhasta, mayi buddhim niveshaya, niveshasi mayi eva atha urdavam na samsaya. What is Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is doing? Sri Krishna is explaining that just fix your mind upon me. Engage all your intelligence in me. What will happen when you do these two things? You will live in me always without doubt. And this is exactly what Raghunath Bhatta is doing. Now, while we are reading like this, we will be thinking, well, this is a very high standard, highest level. Just fix your mind, intelligence on me, you will live in me itself. Generally, we live where? Generally, when we think about our living, if I ask you, are you living in New Orleans or Texas or India or America? Can somebody answer actually where you live from the audience? Think for a minute. Where do you live? Actually, you live where your subtle body exists, where your subtle body lives. We don't live where our physical body lives. I'm just asking a tricky question, but you can grasp it. It's simple. Generally, we live where our subtle body, where our mind focus. We don't live where our physical body lives. An addicted person's mind is always on the object of addiction. It's proven. I personally investigated at least 3 people, and that's where they literally live. If our subtle body is with Krishna, we are also with Krishna. And if our subtle body means our mind, as Krishna says in 12.8, mana adasta and buddhi nivesha, if these 2 things, if the mana adasta mind is not absorbed and intelligence is not engaged in Krishna, then we are not living with Krishna. This is intentional. It's not automatically. I can be in the altar, may not live with Krishna there. Oh, that's scary, Prabhu. Yes, it can be scary. I won't say I would not demonstrate an incident happened behind the altar of a one temple. A young pujari fell in love with the young Mataji behind the altar. And I was thinking, like, is this Vaikuntha or is it Maya's place? Well, this verse, Krishna explains this, that Srila Prabhupada, in introduction, he says that the art of Krishna consciousness, that to always fix our mind on Krishna wherever we are situated. So what is happening now? If you really think, Bhagavad Gita beginning, it's a slow development which culminates in the process of bhakti. Then by the time you reach 7th chapter to 12th chapter, Krishna has talked about supremacy of bhakti in terms of its being the highest reality. After that, Krishna is offering a descending ladder. Once it is concluded that bhakti is the best, once each of us in the audience agree and believe, yes, bhakti is the best, Prabhu. Better than karma, better than gyan, better than yoga, better than anything. If you really came to that conclusion, then bhakti is being the highest reality. After that, Krishna is offering another descending ladder in a sense. Once it is concluded, the bhakti is the best way. It is better than demigod worship. It is better than Ashtanga yoga. Then better than karma yoga, better than jnana yoga, better than universal form, better than Brahma upasana. Someone may think, oh, bhakti is the best, but I'm qualified to practice bhakti, am I? Bhakti seems so exalted. You just read about Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He did not even hear any criticism. He did not even hear any prajalpa. He's so absorbed. How is that position comes? I mean, there is a Mayavadi filled in his hometown. Prakashananda Saraswati with 60,000 followers. Can you imagine everywhere Mayavadi, but he did not see them? Or was he trying to pretend like he didn't see? Or was he blind? No, he was not blind. And he was not pretending not to see them. But his mind was absorbed in Mahaprabhu. His intelligence was engaged in devotional service. That is the point. We don't live by our physical body, we live by our subtle body. So bhakti, even though it seems like very exalted, constantly engage in service, constantly think of Krishna, that devotee is not anymore that level. Then what one should do? Krishna also says in 12th chapter Bhagavad Gita, I'll offer you multiple levels of bhakti. It is described earlier how one moves slowly from karma yoga to jnana yoga. And jnana yoga, it should actually bring you to bhakti. If it does not bring, then from the beginning it is wasted time. Krishna also in 12th chapter, I remember now that Krishna says you can perform bhakti at the level you feel comfortable. And from there, you can rise upwards to the highest level. So from that side, from that point, actually everybody is eligible. In another way also to look at it, the Krishna is not going to offer a ladder of devotion, ladder of love. And that was culminated in 12th chapter explanation. So locating ourselves on Bhakti's ladder of love, then you can focus on where is the next and what is the ultimate destiny. And you will see this Raghunath Bhatta Goswami stage will not be very difficult. Krishna says in text 8 that offer your mind and engage your intelligence entirely. Then you can live in me. This is what Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is doing. Same as Rupa Goswami, same as Sanatan, but in this chapter Raghunath Bhatta is given. Now if you say, wow, bro, I have a busy job, I have this, I cannot do this. I want to, but I can't. Then Krishna says, practice sadhan bhakti. Try to fix your mind 5 minutes, 10 minutes, every day. Every day. It's not, it is automatically, intentionally we have to try this every day. And slowly, slowly, you increase the desire. It's not that you will lose job eventually, you will have no income. No, that's not what Krishna says. It will become easier. While the material life is winding down, your income, you don't have to worry, everything will be okay, but your absorption in Krishna will be different. And that is what is required. This morning in the temple we read that internal pleasure is spiritual, external pleasure is material. Prabhupada put it in his letter. It was very interesting. So in up class bhakti, mind is directly attached to Krishna. But it is not automatic, it is intentional. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami choosing to be in that position, and he is given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. And the next verse, Krishna says, mind does not have a natural attachment to Krishna. So what should we do? Practice fixing mind on Krishna. Instead of mind goes here, there, try to bring it back. And Krishna says, even there, if it doesn't work, then just work for him. Food for life, distributing books, no time of thinking Krishna, just working for Krishna. That is better. Prabhupada, I remember even Prabhupada went so far, he said, that he was in America. He was in New York actually that time. And he said he was not in America. He said, I'm in America, but I'm not in America. When I left Vrindavan, I did not leave Vrindavan. We're not talking about lie or truth because it's not relevant here. Because Prabhupada carried Vrindavan with him. We can take a pure devotee out of Vrindavan, but we cannot take Prabhus and mothers Vrindavan out of pure devotee. Whenever we do anything, we usually have a various level of motivation for doing that thing, isn't? You all, I'm sure, felt or go through this. And depending on how deep or substantial a motivation is, and we persevere in that activity when we face obstacles. The same principle applies in our Krishna consciousness. We often want a sense of acceptability and respectability in our community. If I do some nice service, I want to see that everybody recognize me, I'm doing this nice service. Or at least my friends, they should respect and the seniors should accept me. That idea is there in the mind. If that community is pious or spiritually inclined, the kind of services we do therein determines our state. So we may do service to gain appreciation. Such appreciation is not always a craving of the ego. It can also be human need of reciprocation. Because we do something for someone, you know, it's human nature, we say each other, oh, thank you for that. We do. You all do. It's just a human courtesy. When you do something for someone, naturally you expect them to speak a few words recognizing that you have done something for them. Still, because of unpredictable nature of the world, sometimes our service may not produce result noteworthy enough to be appreciated. Or because everyone goes through their own moods and issues, they may not appreciate us even if we do something worth appreciating. That is why if appreciation from others remain our sole motive for doing service, our bhakti practice, Krishna consciousness practice will soon become erratic and sporadic. So to develop a steadier and deeper motivation, we need to understand that our ultimate purpose in practicing bhakti is what? To connect with Krishna. That should be focused. This is what Krishna is trying to say. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is demonstrating this. And that connection comes in the mood and reaching and fulfilling way through absorption in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or in Krishna. Indeed, if our mind and intelligence are absorbed in him, then we will attain him at the end of our lives. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara juddhacha mayarpito mano buddhi. Arpita mano buddhi, both mind and intelligence. Mame vasyasi, you come to me, asangsaya, without doubt. And not only that, If you do it now, not after death, if you do it now, Krishna says, you live with me. So, and our elevation to his abode, it's just a matter of time. So if we get absorption in a service, this is the point. When you chant, we have to absorb. Why it says inattentiveness is the root cause of all these offenses. Because it is required. Any association helps us to be attentive. We should grab it. If we get absorption in a service, in a chanting, that is itself a great treasure that we need to cherish. Why? Because such absorption will keep us with Krishna now and forever. So that is required. In this chapter, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is demonstrating. It's wonderful. Sometime we think that is very difficult. Our pre-impression, praktan sanskar, pulls us down, pulls us for unnecessary sense gratification or others. Well, we sometimes indulge in self-defeating actions. We see that. Even after resolving to give them up. No more, I don't want to do it, but we succumb. Frequently, it's because we uncritically take in tempting perception that delude us. So how to understand this? I remember there was a water tank in Mayapur where the dirt, it became, because it was open, so much dirt, birds sitting there, all kinds of things. Anyway, I was on the top of one building, and of course later on it taken care, but I remember the dirty water was coming out from the tank. We were talking that whether the water going into it's a dirty or whether the tank itself is dirty. Similarly, whenever self-defeating actions flow out from our consciousness, we can analyze their source. Are we taking in agitating perceptions through our senses, or the past agitation or past agitating impressions stored in our mind getting activated? Which one? Could be both, could be either one. So purifying the mind of its contaminated impressions takes time. Thankfully, that duration can be substantially decreased by Krishna conscious practice. Because this time-honored process connects our consciousness with all pure, all purifying supremely reality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But still, inner purification cannot last for long if we let impure perception flow into our consciousness. And just as purifying a tank cannot help much if impure water keeps coming into it. So I remember we put a nice cupboard. We bought a metal sheet and we covered it nicely with bolted that no wind take it out. No more dirty things will go in the tank. Similarly, we cannot shut off all tempting perception. The material world is filled with temptations, especially. So in today's materialistic culture, still we can lower the possibility of our getting deluded by minimizing our exposure to tempting subjects. And here Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, it gives us a clue that urges us to withdraw our senses from tempting sense objects. Just as tortoise, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, tortoise withdraw its limbs within itself. Understandably, Chaitanya Charitamrita demonstrates, complements this regulation with redirection by urging us to focus our consciousness on Krishna. And significantly, however, even this Raghunath Bhatta's example, that he intentionally restrict or regulates his life, and as a result his absorption become very deep and high growth. So without basic regulation, we cannot focus on Krishna firmly or steadily. When we read this kind of great personality's life, we feel very happy. But then we also feel like, well, it's not relevant yet to me. I am so far away. But how did Raghunath Bhatta come to this point? When they come, eternal associate, they demonstrate just like an ordinary living entity would come and join. Rupa Goswami Pada was working for a meat eater, him and his brother. And they joined, but they took the process so seriously and they immediately experienced. Similarly, every soul can also experience that ecstasy. When we minimize inflow of self-deluding perceptions, the outflow of self-defeating impulses gets naturally minimized. And our Krishna consciousness practice purges our consciousness of impurities and lead us to enduring, fulfilling absorption in Krishna. So this is a 12:7. I will stop here if anyone has any question or comment or reflection. So this chapter deals with three personalities. Jagadananda Pandit's visit to Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is listening to the song of Devdasi at the temple of Jagannath, and how Raghunath Bhatta Goswami achieved ecstatic love of Krishna by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful and nectarian class. I request all the devotees, if anybody have any questions or realizations to Prabhuji, you can please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, I just want to get a little confirmation, clarification about this idea of a person who just expects some ordinary appreciation, reciprocation, versus that which is a function of the false ego. So when a person is, I guess, controlled by the false ego, their service, quote unquote service, is motivated maybe singularly by the desire of the false ego for that recognition, appreciation, whereas a person who does some service and, is expecting some reciprocation, appreciation, their motive is not for that. That's not the reason for their doing it. But at the same time, there is a little expectation, So I don't know. It just feels like there's a kind of little bit of a fuzzy line there. And also, I'm thinking about the Trinata P verse, where, we don't expect any respect from others. So I'm just trying to reconcile these things.
Well, it varies from person to person. It varies from person to person because every day when we do things, we have motivation, we have intention why we do things we do. So if we examine what is our motivation or intention and how deep or substantial motivation is, then we can persevere in that activity when we face obstacles, isn't it? So same principle as I mentioned in our practice, like chanting or doing Mangal Arati or whatever service we need to do. If a child is waking up late and mother say, you are in Maya, you are useless, child may not be motivated to get up even. But if the child is given a hope that if you can get up now and chant, your consciousness will be so pure, you will be forever happy with Krishna. Maybe the child will get up. So in that case, it is not a bribery to the child, but knowing and seeing the condition of each souls in conditioned world, whatever encouragement we can provide to uplift them and to bring them close to Krishna is highly appreciated and reciprocated by Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu actually, I mean, Lord Krishna, if you look at it, Lord Krishna is actually appreciating Arjuna's, but of course he's giving choice, appreciating Arjuna's coming forward to even inquire. Arjuna could have sit down in the chariot and say, I don't want to talk. I feel depressed, I don't want to talk. But he didn't do that. He said, Karpanna dosa apahata sabhava. He says, I'm bewildered due to he examined his heart due to my miserly nature. Miserly means not utilizing properly. Please help me, please guide me. But Krishna, in many cases, even when Arjuna expressed that my mind is so bewildered, it is difficult to control mind. Even controlling wind is harder, but controlling mind is worse than controlling wind. Krishna did not say, oh, you don't worry about it, or you just fallen soul, or just get out of it. No, he did not do either. he sympathized with Arjuna. He said the next verse, Asangsaya Mahabahu Manadurnigraha Chalam. Yes, Arjuna, what you're going through is true. It is difficult. Mind is very difficult to control. When someone agrees with other person, whatever going through, it is not appreciating actually, it is actually reconfirming also that they're right.
Exactly.
That person feels more motivated to hear, and then we can pour Krishna consciousness more. So we can look at from different angle. Of course, there's a warning if there's a false impression, false motivation, it won't last too long. And we also need to understand the whole world. Everybody is actually looking for their own attention. So when we say give the attention to Krishna, it's not that easy. But deep down at the core of soul's existence, actually each soul has a longing for Krishna and wants to give Krishna in the center. But then Krishna himself said, Chittam samadhatum na suknasi. If it is not possible for you to be satisfied of thinking of me, if you cannot think of me constantly, Krishna did not say then you are fallen. No, he didn't say that. He says, means practice yoga like we do chanting, we try to fix the mind, mind goes here, there, and we bring it back like mind may straw away. Mind goes here, there, but let us not make it stay away. Like a child goes here, there, so mother gets them back gently but firmly. Similarly, Krishna is recognizing, okay, your mind is going here, there. Try. This kind of inspiration. And even if little bit endeavor, somebody can actually focus even for 1 year, staying in atmosphere where serving. Krishna appreciating that. That appreciation is not a false. It is a genuine. That this act I will purify, and it should be increased. This kind of appreciation should be welcome, actually. So we have to look at where, who is where, and then we can go from there. Because the ultimate purpose, as I mentioned before, that if we get absorption in Krishna consciousness practice, when we do things we do, like chanting or even honoring prasadam, if we think of Krishna's saliva, ate, touch this, made it purified, you literally see Krishna is eating, he ate, and you get the remnants by the mercy of Guru, then itself a great treasure. And we need to cherish it. Krishna is actually appreciating that if we do this. Why? Because such absorption will keep us with Krishna. But of course, our goal should not be that we should be appreciated by others. But that is there also. I'm not denying it. It was there probably in me too. But it is not our main soul motive, should not be. And we should encourage and appreciate in a sense that they will eventually come to a point where they don't want appreciation from others for nothing. They rather draw their happiness from the absorption on Krishna.
So therefore, even if there is some slight desire for appreciation, even though it's not one's main motive, it seems like some tinge of false ego is involved there.
False ego means that we don't consider self as a servant of Krishna or trying to please the devotee. It is there. What is the fear of it? Rather, if we focus on to genuinely appreciate and glorify other devotee, just like this Indian gentleman was glorifying Prabhupada, that you are glorifying 12 Mahajans so much, but the way Maharaj you are glorifying, I think you are Mahajan number 13. Now that glorification, Prabhupada did not deny, no, don't glorify me. Prabhupada didn't say that. Prabhupada said, okay, if you think that is what you see, then I also pray and bless you that you start talking, glorifying about Krishna and his devotee, and you become number 14. Because if some appreciation is not negative, is not bad, but if we depend on the appreciation, that is what bad.
Yeah, dependence, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our dependence should be on absorption. Because absorption will purify our existence. And actually, it will give us ultimate happiness. It's
So I would say,
wrong.
therefore, that to the extent that your service is depending on getting appreciation is the extent to which it is false ego.
Yes. But I say, instead of focusing on the false ego, focus on the absorption. You'll get out, or you'll not even aware that false ego disappear. Because according to Krishna, 1858, he says, as long you are interested to serve me, to focus on me, you have an absence of false ego.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It makes sense?
Yes. In that story, I'm just trying to process that little anecdote that you gave just now about Srila Prabhupada saying, when he was being called the 13th Mahajan, and you were saying that he did not deny that or something out of humility, and you're saying that the reason why he did not do that, can you repeat how did you put that? What was the point there?
This is a pastime in Bombay. He was giving a lecture and he was glorifying the Mahajans, how merciful they are. And the way he was expressing, genuinely expressing and appreciating and glorifying those 12 Mahajans. One Indian gentleman, very thoughtful, he said, the way you are expressing and glorifying, I feel you are one of them. Such a wonderful appreciation. You are number 13. Since Bhagavatam gives name of 12, you are number 13. And he was appreciating. Prabhupada did not deny. Generally, we have a weakness within us. Oh, no, I'm not advanced. I'm not. Why do we have to say that? If somebody sees something good in us, that coming down by the mercy of Guru Krishna, we should not deny it. Because if we deny it, then we are actually lying what their perception is. So Prabhupada says, okay, if you're seeing that way, why don't you start glorifying the Mahajans and Krishna and appreciate their activities to deliver this fallen soul. This way you will become number 14. Connection comes whenever we think of connection in our spiritual progress. Connection comes by a combination of commitment and contentment. We see in Mahaprabhu's relationship with Raghunath Bhatta, Jagadananda in this chapter. They have a relationship, very fixed, and we are trying to develop a relationship. But there is a commonology that both need commitment and contentment. They have it, they are already committed, and Krishna does not really seize how many wrong things we are committing or committed. He sees where our hearts is committed.
And
commitment means we persevere in that relationship without getting swayed by our flickering or fickle feelings. I always think, meditate sometimes, that bhakti is not, you heard this, I'm sure, before, mentioned that bhakti is not sustained by mental emotion or tribulation, but by commitment, inner connection, conviction.
You mentioned containment, also commitment and containment, or contentment. Is it? What is
Contentment, yes.
Oh.
Contentment is essentially in relationship because none of us is perfect. We need to tolerate others' shortcomings rather than harping on their bad sides. Perceived or actual, we learn to look at their good side. We can feel satisfied. It's a conscious, intentional process. To look at someone good side. I was told, I read once that Bhakti Siddhanta Guru called two of his disciples. Sometime he heard that they don't go along, and he would call them, one in one side of the temple, one in another side. In the middle, all the devotee would sit, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would sit. Then now you start glorifying him. Let me hear. Let us all hear. And he would ask the other devotee to glorify him. He said, you want to go to the spiritual world? You start from here. How can you do that? It's very easy in one sense. If we don't harp their bad side, don't look at their bad side, but if we look at their good side, yes, we can glorify and we'll be satisfied. I always think that how Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur actually demonstrated that. Then we'll have no offense to any Vaishnavas. We'll advance very quick. Because if either commitment or contentment is lacking in a relationship, then the connection slackens. Can't we see that? Yes, it slackens. And you know what happened after that? We start looking elsewhere for reciprocation. Even in the worldly relationship, despite our best effort, we may sometimes not get reciprocation. And we ask, why? Because we all have a different nature, which may lead to irreducible incompatibility. But good thing is in Krishna consciousness that such incompatibility does not mar our relationship with Krishna. In our essential spiritual nature, all of us are always compatible with him. Why? Because we are his eternal parts. And he is our greatest well-wisher. There is nothing you can do to Krishna for him to say, I'm fed up with you, mother. I'm fed up with you, Prabhu. Go on your way. No, he will never say. His affection for us is such a highest degree, such a deepest love. So our relationship with him has the potential to be supremely fulfilling. That's why our acharyas, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita recommends we be determined while practicing Bhakti Yoga. Today we just read Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, intentionally he would not hear any prajalpa as if it is not there, as if nobody talks bad. Yes, when each of us focus like this, we will see there is nothing bad. Even Ramanujacharya was asking about Govinda, why Govinda goes to nearby their ashram, there was a prostitution. See, what are you doing at the door of this prostitute? He said, oh, I go there because sometimes she sings such a deep emotional song of Krishna. I never heard. It reminds me of Krishna so much. But do you know what is prostitution? He said, no, but she reminds me of Krishna. He could not see any danger. Of course, we have to be very careful unless you are in that stage. You know, when you make your guru's bed, you're not supposed to lie down on guru's bed. But he would lie down and he would go and he say, oh. Then one day some god brother asked, what are you doing? Why are you enjoying guru's bed? He said, I want to make sure it is really enjoyable, comfortable. So then they asked, and his guru asked him, I was told that you are rolling on my bed. Why is that? You know, it is offense to roll on the bed. He said, Gurudev, I make the bed, I want to make sure it is comfortable. Otherwise, I will feel always doubt. Did I do properly? Did I do? But when I roll, I feel very comfortable. I said, okay, Gurudev can rest. His body needs to be rested. So intention is very big deal. So that's why I mentioned that we stay committed to our devotional practice, even if we don't feel like doing them. And significantly, same Chaitanya Charitamrita sloka urges us to be content. So contentment means we stay satisfied with whatever spiritual taste we achieve by our practice without demanding constant ecstasy. And it also means we stay satisfied with whatever material things we achieve while doing our worldly duties in a mood of devotion. That is important, without being distracted by mundane cravings. And if we do this, by such combination of commitment and contentment, our connection with Krishna blossoms to a blissful absorption in him. I hope that gives you some.
Yeah, the nice points, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Any other question, comment, or we close, Mother?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, request any other devotees have any other comments or questions to Prabhuji? If no other questions or realizations, we can end the call here, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you so much once again for such a beautiful, beautiful class, Prabhuji. We all pay our obeisances to you. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. We look forward for your association.
Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Pramanande.
Jai.
His grace. Govinda Prabhuji ki